In April of 1975, I was 8 years old at the time, and I still remember that night. We went out to dinner, and when we got back home, my father is in the South Vietnamese Army, an officer in the South Vietnamese Army. He received a phone call, and they notified him things were getting critical. So the war is about to end, and our side was about to lose. So my father frantically had to gather my family, my brothers, sisters, mother, and I we had to leave the very next day. The next day, we all got into the Jeep and went to the airport. My father didn't want to go. He had a lot of men under him that needed his direction, and also he still had family members. So he said, go ahead, take the kids first, and I'll follow you. So we went on to a C-130, a military transport jet, and it took us to Guam. We were there for several weeks, and on the 30th of April, we received news that Saigon has fallen to the communists. As you can imagine, the anger and the sadness of the situation, because everyone knew that whoever was left behind were not going to make it out alive, especially the men who were in the military, my father included. Days, weeks went by, we didn't hear any news. Suddenly one day, a strange man walked into our tent. And as I remember being an 8-year-old, growing up with him, he's always in his military uniform, clean-shaven, very proud. And the man who came into our tent was wearing civilian clothing. He had a beard, and he was looking real frail. So my brother and I were wondering, who's the stranger? So we went to the tent. Sure enough, it was my father. He made it out on one of the few last boats to leave Saigon that day. He said, he told the stories of how Saigon was just in chaos. There was people running everywhere, cars littered the streets, people were looting, and in front of the U.S. Embassy there was a mass crowd trying to secure a spot on one of the last helicopters to leave Saigon.